Mayad nga agahon, coming to you live from Numancia, Auckland in Western Visayas in the Philippines. Wet morning here. it was raining hard here a minute ago, but it actually stopped raining. I'm having my morning cup of coffee in my coffee with Ginno cup here. My Copico Blanca. Copico Blanca is my choice of 3-in-1 coffee here in the Philippines. It's coffee, cream, and sugar all in one packet right here. Just put it in your cup, put hot water, and you're good to go with a nice cup of coffee. Very popular here, very popular for Filipinos. You can get the 3-in-1 coffee everywhere here. Carinderia, you can get it at the sari-sari store. They even provide like thermos for you in a cup. So if you go stop at the sari-sari store, you can get one of their cups, put the 3-in-1 hot water, and you get a nice cup of coffee. A lot of tricycle drivers, a lot of jeepney drivers, that's the first thing they do in the morning here. And also pandesal, but I did not get my pandesal this morning because it was raining earlier. I said, I don't really want to get wet outside riding Bumblebee. Good morning, Ray in the Philippines. Ray in the Philippines, thank you for joining the live stream. Speaking of weather, I always start with the weather. Like I said, it was raining just now. It just stopped raining here in Numancia. Here, the current temperature here in Numancia, I'm looking at the AccuWeather report. JP turned me on to this AccuWeather report. 24 degrees Celsius. So a little cooler than normal, actually. It's a little cooler this morning. And today in the Philippines, there's actually a tropical depression. It's called Tropical Depression Ada, ADA. And it's actually might even turn into a tropical storm. I watched this YouTuber. His name is Westpax, American guy. He's actually going to go to the Philippines here really soon. He mentioned that he was going to head towards the Cebu area. I was watching him this morning. This is from 5 a.m. As of 5 a.m. this morning, and he was saying that it's a slow-moving tropical depression, slow-moving tropical storm. It's gonna linger. It's gonna linger from now all the way to Tuesday next week. It's just gonna linger right on the eastern side of Visayas. Right now, it's more between eastern Visayas and Mindanao, the tropical depression ADA. So signal number 1 on a lot of areas in eastern Visayas and also eastern Mindanao. Signal number 1. On the Pag-asa website, it just says Eastern Samar, Surigao del Norte, Dinagat Islands, rains with gusty winds. Possible flash floods, landslide due to moderate and heavy rains. Here in Central Visayas and Western Visayas, cloudy skies with scattered rains and thunderstorms from Tropical Depression Ada. And then in Luzon, like in Northern Luzon, Metro Manila, Ilocos region, it's the northeast monsoon that's going to be causing rains in those areas. The amihan season. So wet day, pretty much anywhere you are in the Philippines. Looks like it's going to be a wet day. Wet day today. Wet day. I just got some community dark roast in my Amazon. Oh, nice, Ray. Having that with some French vanilla creamer. Yeah, I ran out. I have those little containers of the French vanilla creamer that I bought at the SNR. Next trip to SNR, I'm going to have to get 2 boxes because the box I got was only 50 containers of those French vanilla. So next time I'm gonna have to buy two containers. Beyond, no, I was curious if you are a traveling man. A traveling man. I used to travel a lot more, but I had gotten sick. I had gotten sick in 2023. I got diagnosed with head and neck cancer, Valentine's Day 2023, and I don't do a lot of traveling anymore. I'm glad I did beforehand. Before that, I'm glad I was traveled Southeast Asia, traveled most of the Philippines except Mindanao. Never been to Mindanao. And then when I was in the military, I traveled a lot. But since then, I haven't traveled just because recovery from cancer takes a long time. I'm still in the recovery phase. JP, good morning, Ginno and everyone. Hey, good morning, JP. Let me see. Yep. Hi says, I can't read the name there. Sorry. YHC. Good morning, JP. Fortune, hey, my brother in Bacoor, in Cavite. Good AM. Ginno fam and the Panay Posse. I am just here for, oh, no worries, JP. Glad you could join us. I know you're probably gonna head out on your motorbike. JP's riding around on Blue Arrow. Blue Arrow is JP's new motorbike. Aerox 155. Good morning, Fortune, from Ray. JP, Master Yoda in the building. Fortune, work from home. All right, work from home, Fortune. That's always good, right? When you work from home. Less travel, more relaxing for you, I'm sure. Work from home. So I can join early and freely. Yeah, that's all right. You can walk around the house, get snacks. I'm glad you're work from home today, Fortune. Good AM, Ray and JP. Nice video of Ati-Atihan pre-events. All right. Yeah, Fortune had mentioned to me like Colas is back again, becoming Filipino, and Commander Daot also is in Calibo, but I did not see them at Pastrana Park. I did go to Pastrana Park. Dazzle and I went to Pastrana Park yesterday. I filmed more the sad street dancing. It's called Nego Parade, Negosyo Parade yesterday. All the businesses in Calibo participated. There was Jollibee there. There was a propane tank. I mean, all kinds of the water company, you name it. All the businesses in Calibo, they participated, and some schools too. And then different alumni groups from different colleges, high schools, you name it, in Calibo. A lot of people at Pastrana Park. I was actually hoping my friend Rick from Jacksonville, Florida, he arrived in Calibo the night before, and he was gonna, he said he was gonna go to the Pastrana, and he did. He went to Pastrana Park, but there's just so many people at Pastrana Park. I'm like, I was kind of looking for my friend, but we didn't connect yesterday. And then when I got home, he texted me. He said he decided to go to the cathedral, to the Calibo Cathedral. That's why I missed him. It's like I did pass the cathedral. I was filming in the area, but he was inside the Calibo Cathedral. That's why I missed him. But I'm sure I told him I'll run into him. We still got, today is Thursday, so we still got till Sunday is the festival. And today was one of the most anticipated, I would say. There's two events that's really anticipated here with the festival. Today at 1 p.m. is the Gigante parade, giant parade. They built these floats, people walking with like giants, and then with the marching band, and it's a competition. It's the Gigante Parade competition. That's at 1 p.m. today, and then Saturday morning. That's kind of like the tribes, the Ati-Atihan tribes. That's the competition for the 1.1 million grand prize. That's the grand prize for like the best ati-atihan group this year. So 1.1 million, that's like $20,000, you know. So heavy competition for that. They're really colorful. Even the band, everybody's gonna be dressed up, dancing, showing off their stuff for that competition on Saturday morning. So those are the two big events that hopefully the weather, it stayed nice yesterday. It was all sunny. Didn't get, Dazzle and I brought our umbrella, but didn't catch any rain. Didn't catch any rain at all yesterday afternoon. So, and looking at the forecast for our area, looks like rain in the morning, maybe sunshine this afternoon, hopefully, for the Gigante, the giant parade. Hitting hearts. I don't know why the double tap like hasn't been working. Oh, okay. No worries, Ray. No worries. Thank you. Appreciate that, man. I got the big bottle. Oh, man, that's the good stuff, man. I haven't even seen that. That's the good stuff. The big bottle SNR. When I went to SNR, they didn't have that. Not a French vanilla. I think I saw like hazelnut. I think the French vanilla ran out, so I had to get the little little containers of French vanilla. Emilio, hey, good morning, Ginno, and the rest of the expat, All right, good AM, Emilio. Joe, hey Joe. Hi folks, I'm going to be lurking. Oh, no worries. While I'm drafting on a project that goes. Oh, no worries, man. It's like more important, man. Thank you though. Thank you, Joe, for joining the live stream. People wanting all the structure done for. Whoa, nice. I have my cousin Kuya Beng. He's retired now. He's in his 70s. He lives in Las Vegas. He used to do like structural engineering in New York City and New Jersey, and now he's retired. But he still sometimes consults on. He tells me he still has projects that keeps him sharp. That he gets like consultation fees in his retirement. Hey, Colonel. Good morning, Colonel. JP, I have been thinking of putting on brush guard cage and some blue lights. Blue lights, definitely. That would look cool, JP. And, you can do that here. It's here in the Philippines. It's allowed here in Aklan anyway. I've seen it on the road. Tricycles, motorbikes, cars. You can put all kinds of colors like lights that go, connected to your motorbike, connected to your car, underneath your car. You can light it up with like all the, that would look awesome. That would look awesome, JB, if you got some blue lights, man. And the brush guard cage probably to protect, hey, man, anything. You see how they modify a lot of motorbikes here. A lot of people add like after factory or stuff to their motorbikes. I mean, you see it in JB, right? They even lower their motorbike. They do all kinds of things here with their motorbikes here. You're allowed to do that, especially here in the province. Nobody's gonna say anything to that. That's all legal here. Good morning, Colonel. Fortune from Ray. Pro-life arrested. Oh no, yeah. I was gonna talk a little bit about that, but like I said, I wasn't gonna make a video of him getting all that arrested, all that, because I know many people will jump on the bandwagon and make a video of him. And to me, he might not be a good person. He might not. He might have done bad things, but I don't want to take advantage of that. He's got a family. He's got a wife. He's got a baby. I'm not that kind of guy. I don't do that kind of stuff. I don't like bash on other vloggers anyway. I don't do that. Even though I might not agree with the stuff that he's done in the past, I'm sure he's probably regretting some of the things that he has done. I think his lawyer wanted him booked for overstaying his visa and deported instead of charges. Oh, definitely. I did see that he got arrested. And it sounded like he hadn't extended, you have to extend your tourist visa when you're here in the Philippines. Most of the expats here know that. I'm sure people, JP knows that. I'm going to take him to the immigration here pretty soon here, because he's going to hit before he hits his 30 days. First extension 30 days, second extension after that is 2 months at a time. It looks like he had this tourist visa lapse since June of. So that's enough right there. You're in trouble right there. You can't do that, man. You can't do, man. When you're on a tourist visa here in the Philippines, man, you got to be stay on top of your visa requirements, right? You're basically, the minute you make it lapse, you're illegal. You're illegal in here. You can get arrested, and I'm sure he's like Fortune is saying here, that might be a strategy of his lawyer. Who knows? Who knows? But definitely he's in a lot of trouble, and I'm sure he's regretting a lot of the things he did now. And like I said yesterday, I talked a little bit about it. The people in Visayas, man, the people here, they're just a nice people here, man. Compared to, I grew up in Luzon, I grew up in Manila. Fortune can attest to this. Visayan people, man, these are like the humblest, kindest. They're so kind here. They're humble. They're good people here. Heck, this guy, he was living in Dumaguete City. You know what Dumaguete City is known for here in the Philippines? It is the city of gentle people. That's Dumaguete City. That's why Dumaguete City, that's why so many expats are going to Dumaguete City. It was at one time, top 10 retirement destination in the world. In the world, it made the top 10 list. Because again, it's the city of gentle people. You go to a city of gentle people, man, you gotta act right. You gotta act right. You gotta respect those people, man. You can't be like making fun of them. I'm sure he did a lot of that stuff because he's trying to get big on YouTube and make money, but that's just wrong. That's just wrong, in my opinion, just wrong to do that, man. You got some of the kindest people here, and you're like taking advantage of that situation. Norm, hey mate, hope you get well, mate. Oh, thank you very much, Norm. I got engaged. All right, same day. More memorable for you, but it is also memorable for me. I looking back, I even did a video on that day, long time ago. That day, when I got diagnosed. Of course, somber. I was sad. Daz was crying. I was sad, but looking back, man, it's like it changed my life completely. After that, it's like I never really took things for granted, but after that, especially now, every day for me is a blessing. Even like a cloudy day like this, a rainy day, when I wake up each day, I'm just thankful. I woke up and I'm upright and I'm healthy. It's like so many blessings. Edsel, mayad-ayad nga agahon, maayong aga. Good morning, Ginno. All right. Ray, I hope he doesn't go to jail. Don't get me wrong. I don't think he's a good guy, but I also think he hasn't done enough to warrant jail time. Definitely an undesirable. Yeah, so many different opinions on that, Ray. Like for me, it's like he's gonna have his day in court, time in court. I'm sure. He's got a lawyer now. I'm sure. That's for them to decide now. But like I said, I wasn't gonna jump in the bandwagon and make a video about him or anything, because he has enough troubles he's still a human being, right? He's still a guy. Nobody deserves to get like that kind of he's I'm sure he's gonna be struggling now. I'm sure yesterday I saw a video, his baby's crying. I'm sure his wife's crying. So man, that's he's in pain. I'm sure he's in pain. Emilio, can't wait to go back in Aklan and Boracay. All right, Emilio, hey man, start planning, man. Start planning for your comeback, man. Start planning for your comeback. All of my shorts are getting baggy. I need to get Yeah, get on the scale, man. Well, I know JP's been walking around. I know JP's strategy in Calibo is like he walks all over Calibo, and then when he needs to go like out of, like outside Calibo area, he rides Blue Arrow, his motorbike. But he's been walking, and most people that I know, that's what's nice about Calibo. Calibo's not that big, so you're able to walk, like from La Casa Española. When Ruben's here, he walks from his apartment. His apartment is near La Casa Española, all the way to Pastrana Park. And I would say that's a good 2-3 kilometers one way. So just to go get a meal, he'll walk and walk back. So I know Ruben, man, he's lost a lot of weight since the past year here in Calibo. You can walk at the mall, you can walk at, there's just so many places you can walk around Calibo. It's almost February. LOL, 10 more months. 10 more months. Hey, man, start the countdown. Start the countdown, Emilio. Kevin, hi, Gino and everyone. Joe, JP better get those shorts taken in or get new ones. Not a problem, Joe. Actually, JP, if you need to get your shorts taken in, the shopping, I can take you to the shopping, or just ride a tricycle and tell the tricycle, take me to shopping. And they will repair that. They can tighten your shorts, pants, you name it. It's like a shopping area in Calibo. It's a place where a lot of seamstress, a lot of tailors. If you want shorts made, custom made, if you're a big American, it's like it's hard to find sometimes shorts. It's hard to find shirts here in the Philippines. In the department stores, you can go to shopping and they'll tailor-made shorts for you, tailor-made shirts, collared shirts, you name it. They can tailor-made everything. Good price, not even expensive to get tailor-made clothes. That's where I had my uniforms when I was going to college at STI College Calibo. We have to have uniforms. I had to wear, I think it was dark blue pants, and then the shirt, like a short sleeve shirt, collar shirt. So I had those made at the shopping. They measure you and everything. So it's like custom fit. Captain Ron, are you walking more, JP, for your weight loss? I'll let JP answer that. Ted, good morning, Gino and all. I think JP might need 1 month, 30-day extension. I think that third extension you can do 60-day. I could the people that I've taken recently, Ted, the way here in Calibo, it's different if you go to the main office in Manila, but here in Calibo, it's the first extension, you get 29 days when you arrive. The first extension is 30. The second extension is 2 months, and after that it's 2 months. All the way to 3 years. You can but if you do an extension in the Manila, the main office in Manila, Bureau of Immigration, that you can get 6 months there. So I've heard people do that. But for most now, I think 2 months is the extension time now. And then your ACR card, the alien registration card, the ID, you will get that on the second extension. On this first extension, JP's gonna do, he won't get that yet, but on the second extension, he can get that. That way, he can use that to get his driver's license, and then he can get that to get his Philippine bank account, if he wants one, All right, I think I'm gonna have to put you on a timeout because you're posting the same thing here. I'll just put you on a timeout. Let me see here. Put user in a timeout. That way, okay. Ooh, there's a lot of posts. There's a lot of posts from that guy. Good AM, Joe, Colonel, Edsel, Ted LV from Fortune. Good morning, Gino and fam. Lucita, hey, my good friend in Maine. Good morning, Lucita. Good morning, Derek. Oh, Derek, let me see. Did I miss Derek? Maybe when I deleted that, maybe, oh, there it is. Aloha. I did miss you. I didn't mean to miss you, brother. My brother from Hawaii, man. I had to like put that person in timeout because it's like so many repeated statements there. Good morning, Derek. I'm glad Ray said good morning, Derek. I would have missed your comment. Joe, people jumping on pro-life are doing the same type of stuff as he did. Respect others, especially if you are a guest. Yes, yes. To me, it's like I've seen all kinds of comments, all kinds. I've read through people's comments regarding that situation. I think the one thing that I wanted to point out, for foreigners arriving here in the Philippines, there is freedom of speech here, but it might be a little different from the freedom of speech that you're used to. It's like you have the laws here in the Philippines are different. The way they handle the law here is different. So if you're a guest, if you're a visitor to the Philippines, you're on a tourist visa, you got to be really careful. You got to, you don't want to be insulting people here because I've mentioned this before, even on Facebook here, even an insult to a person here. You might be in a bar and you call somebody a name, and somebody heard that you call that person a name. Here in the Philippines, there's libel, cyber libel. That's serious business here because this is a different culture. The Southeast Asian countries, where a lot of us are tolerant, a lot of us are respectful, humble, but we're also very sensitive. Filipinos are very sensitive, man. And if you hurt their feelings, it could go badly for you. I know in the U.S. where when I lived over 30 years, like in the military, when I was in the military, there's really nothing is you can say anything to your buddies, you can do that, but you're visiting a country, you gotta be really respectful of the people. You might not agree with the laws here, you might not agree with how people do things here, but you're a visitor, so you have to respect. When I moved to the United States, when I got my green card in the United States, my mom used to tell me all the time, because I was in high school, hey, you gotta behave, you gotta we're on a green card here. We're not a citizen of this country, So if I was on a green card and I committed a crime or did something wrong, I got myself in juvie hall or something like that, they can deport me, because they can take away my green card, So I always knew that hey, I'm on my best behavior at all time, you do your 5 year. Me, I had, I did the military thing, so I got my citizenship through the military. But same thing here. If you're a guest to the Philippines, you got to be careful. You got to be careful. Disrespecting the people here in the Philippines can cause you a lot. To me, actually, if he had done that to like a group of Filipinos here, if he had just said the wrong thing to a group of Filipinos here, because there are Filipinos here that, like I was saying yesterday, like where I come from in Manila, I grew up in Tondo, Manila. It's like, you consider the hood, the barrio in Tondo, man. I know he can do that. What he was doing in Dumaguete City, he's gone to the poor areas in Dumaguete, well, he was filming there and all that. He can do that in Tondo. He would have gotten shanked. He would have gotten shanked really quick in Tondo if he had done that. It's like he picked the place. He picked the right place. Dumaguete City is the land of gentle people. He picked the right place to but it caught up to him. Unfortunately, he caught up to him. And how are you tonight? I'm doing good, Nikki. It's morning here, Nikki. Or nighttime where you're at, but here it's morning time here. But I'm doing good. Getting my day started here. Someone now needs to be banned. Someone. Oh yeah, I think he will be banned. I think when I was watching the news, he's considered persona non grata already. and it went all the way to Malacanang Palace, where the president, they're talking about it. The whole Philippines is talking about that. So once he's removed from the Philippines, he'll never step foot in the Philippines. He'll be banned for life here in the Philippines. They don't play with that. When they ban you from the Philippines, they'll ban. He's probably hoping that they will just deport him. I'm sure that's what he's hoping that would happen to him. But we'll see. We'll see what happens to him, because I know Vitaly is still in the Philippines. They haven't deported him yet, and that's been over a year now. Vitaly is still here in the Philippines. So I'm sure if I was in his shoes now, I'm sure he just want to get out of the country now. But it might not be easy for him to get out of the country now. Tap the thumbs up. Thank you, Colonel Bizwax. Good morning, Ginno and everyone. Good morning, Bizwax. Hey, Nikki. All right, Ted. Yeah, you're right, Ginno. Oh, no worries. No, it's not a mistake. It's like things change all the time, Ted. That's why me, man, I try to stay on top of things. And I try to, I hadn't mentioned, just reminded me, because we were talking about Pinay Heart. I think she was asking. I did ask my friend. He's here right now in Calibo, or Tiatihan, Joel from San Diego. There is a Philippine embassy office in San Diego. That's where he processes his paperwork. So you can just Google it, the number to the office, and find out whether for Pinay Heart, if Pinay Heart is here, if you can process your paperwork in San Diego, or you need to go to Los Angeles. Always check, right? Always check. But I just remember that because one time my friend Joel was born in America, but his parents are Filipinos, so he reacquired his Philippine citizenship in San Diego, in the Philippine consulate in San Diego. That's why when we were talking about that the other day, it just crossed I think there's one in San Diego, because of my friend Joel. So first-hand account that he did it in San Diego, his Philippine citizenship. Good AM, Fortune. Ginno, I spoke to my cousin who retired here since December 29. All right, December 29. He was advised by sister-in-law, LA lawyer, to not apply yet for dual citizenship because of Trump uncertainty. Hey, man. Hey, I'm not gonna argue with an advice from a lawyer, man, immigration lawyer, man. I would not argue with that, man. For me, if you notice with me, Fortune, I don't really take sides on like political. I don't take sides on religion. I don't take sides on stuff. I just report what's available, So to me, I'm kind of neutral. I want to stay neutral because I want to keep the peace. Man. I just try to report what I see. I'm not standing with either side. It's like I understand there's sides now. Not just in the U.S., but anywhere you go, people have their opinion on things. I'm just kind of like I respect different opinions. I try not to. Because for me, man, I'm retired, man. It's like, to me, all that stuff, it's, just myself. To me, it's all nonsense, man. To me, what's important is my health, my family, and my faith. That is what's important to me. It's like the rest is just, to me, it acts like entertainment. Actually, when I'm watching it in YouTube, it makes me smile sometimes. When he got here, he supposedly gets 1 year, but there was no stamp by the local to stay until. He just got an entry stamp. Oh, okay. I think what happened to him, he probably didn't mention, because a lot of Filipino Philams, when they come to the airport in Manila, like Joel's perfect example. He don't look Filipino to me. It's like even his brother Chris, they're born in, they're Filipinos, but they don't look Filipino because they look American. They look American now. Maybe he just didn't say that he was balikbayan. That's important. When you're coming here to the Philippines, don't assume that they're gonna know you're a balikbayan and you're eligible for balikbayan privilege, that you're a Filipino American, because some Filipino Americans don't look Filipino anymore. It's like and it could be like a late night. It could be a late night for the immigration person at the counter, right? Some people fly in at 1 a.m., 2 a.m. It could be a late night. They're not paying attention, but I would point that out, right? If you present your U.S. passport, tell them, hey, I'm a balikbayan, right? Because on your U.S. passport, when you open your U.S. passport, place of birth, Philippines. Or if it's not Philippines, if it says place of birth USA, then you have to bring another document saying that you're Filipino. Maybe your birth certificate, something to show, or that you're a balikbayan. That's probably why he didn't get the 1-year stamp. Most people get that 1-year stamp, balikbayan privilege, Fortune. Even if an American, if you're flying with your Filipina spouse, you get that 1-year balikbayan privilege. Very important, right? Those stamps, but I think it could be easily fixed, Fortune, if he wants to fix that his stamp at arrival to the Bureau of Immigration in Manila. Just show up there, tell them what happened, that this was the stamp that you got when you're at your arrival. But he should have gotten a stamp that says BB. It says BB balikbayan, and then the date, how long the balikbayan privilege is. If that's what he's trying to get, if you're talking about he wanted the balikbayan privilege. Those people, they make errors too, man. They make errors too, man. And they're processing a lot of people in the line. They're trying to rush people in. But if you're in that situation, you want to make sure, right, before you leave that counter. I'm like, is this good for balikbayan? I would bring that up at that. John, good AM. When you coming down to Clark, we'll grab coffee. All right, John. If I had. We actually, Dazzle and I actually have plans to go to Clark, Angeles City this year. Probably maybe end of February, March. I have to get my ID, man. I don't have my retired military ID expired. All the old, the blue, retirement card, mine expired December, so I gotta renew my military ID. Dazzle's ID doesn't expire, I think, till April. So soon we'll have to go because I need to renew my military retired ID. Not that I use it here, but I like to have it. I never use anything. I've never even bring that ID, but it's good to have, right? It's good to have my retired military ID. Michael M. from Northern California. Magandang umaga, Master Sergeant. Salamat, kapatid. Fortune. So, it feels like he can stay indefinitely. So, he is getting his PSA birth certificate, and he was told to show that he is a natural-born Filipino. Yeah, if he had a birth certificate, so I just wanted to I don't want to get confusion. Fortunately, I'm careful, because I sometimes when people discuss, if he had a birth certificate, any type, not even the PSA birth certificate, even the old style. I have one of those. I have the old style and I have the new PSA one. Any birth certificate showing that you're Filipino, if you're a balikbayan, if you're coming from the U.S., it's best to carry that with you or show it, or make sure if your passport, like my passport, if I open my passport right now, it says born in the Philippines, and that's enough to get the balikbayan privilege. Because my friend Vincent, from Northern California also, and he flew in, that's all he had to show, and he looks American too. He doesn't look like Filipino. He's got that Spanish blood in him, it's like a really light skin, and he just showed it. And a lot of times, if you speak Tagalog, a lot of times, that's another thing. If you're coming in, a lot of times they'll give you the balikbayan, just be, kumusta, if you just say something, right? But he should be, if he has a Philippine birth certificate, he should have gotten the Balikbayan privilege stamp. The BB, it says BB, stay until, and it's 1 year from arrival. They'll even write the date, like if he arrived today, what's today? The 15, it would say there, January 15, 2027, it will say there. Because I used to have that stamp. I remember that on my passport before. An observation from watching some videos: keep your hands to yourself. Why grab other women, girls, particularly when you have a wife or come on. Yeah, just be polite, right? So that's not one thing people even here in the Philippines do anyway. It's like, even for Filipinos, so you don't just start, holding other, that's like, touchy-feely kind of thing. That's not a cool thing. And like I said, if you do that in the wrong neighborhood here in the Philippines, I don't care what the nationality, where you came from, that's enough to cause a fight, right? Right, Colonel? If you're in a bar and you touch somebody's girl in a bar here, not even a bar, a restaurant or whatever, man, that's enough to you're gonna end up in a fight here with that, man. But again, he picked a good city, Dumaguete City, the land of gentle people. You got gentle people in Dumaguete City, man. Ginno from the hood. Hey man, hey Colonel, it's like I grew up in Manila, Colonel. I was born and raised in Tondo, man. I can't be any rougher being born at Tondo Hospital and being raised as a kid in Tondo, man. Even now, if you watch videos of Tondo was rough. Even back in the 60s and 70s, Tondo's like, that's the hood. That's the hood, man. Persona non grata means no worries, no worries, no worries. Rance, good AM, said I. Fortune. Actress Claire Danes was declared non grata in Manila, so she can't enter Manila airport. Oh wow, man! I like that actress, man. I love her. I love her. I wonder what she did. I wonder what she did, man. I love her in Homeland, man. Homeland is like one of the series that I enjoyed that she was in, and I'll have to research it now. What she did, Fortune. Happy Atiatian. Hey, Renz. Happy Atiatian. Good AM, Lucita, Nikki, Derek, Biz, and Michael M. Ted. Great news for Pinay Heart. I think the consulate in LA might have outreach too. All right. It's like it would help them, right? Because I'm sure that they got to be busy. That consulate, anything in Los Angeles. That's where I got sworn in my American United States citizenship at the LA Superior Court. That's where I got my United States citizen, and it's always crowded there by the downtown area. It's crowded there. Busy place. LA is always, Los Angeles is always busy. I agree. Politics in America has ruined family relations. Yeah, unfortunately, I have seen that. I've seen people not talk. I mean, even in my family, Philippine Philam family in the U.S., I know it's happening. They're not talking to each other because, one person, is a party. To me, to me it's silly. You're like giving up your family. You're giving up people you grew up with. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Good morning, Ted. Hey, good day, Ray from Ted. Jump, hey, Sir Fortune. All right, Ray. Good morning, John. John Vasquez, the alien. All right, the alien emoji there. Alien emoji. Leah has said hi. Hello from Montenegro. Wow, that's the first time I've seen that, Montenegro. Thank you for joining the live stream. Lowell, mabuti ako, Lowell from Oregon. Lowell from Oregon. Mabuhay. Just had shoulder checkup, looking good so far. Oh, good to hear, brother. Good to hear. God bless, my brother. Fortune, good AM. John V, Lowell, nice. Lowell, Derek. Kalibo, good morning, Fortune. Good morning, Mike. Mike in Venus from Cavite. All right, though we got a lot of Cavite people here, man. Fortune, Bacoor, Cavite. Michael C. He's usually here. He's from Trece Martires in Cavite. Welcome, welcome there, Mike in Venus. Hey Ray, Fortune. Claire Danes was filming here 1990 and she commented in an interview, ghastly and weird. Smelled, all right. That's, man, that's like, you can't be doing that in the Philippines, man. You can't be doing that, man. It's easy. It's easy, like I said, it's like maybe, in a different culture, in a foreign nation, I know in America, people, you got to be like, what's that? Not so sensitive, right? Not so sensitive. Filipinos are very sensitive, especially you're hitting their pride. Filipinos are very they have a lot of pride in the nation here, proud of the culture, proud of the Philippines. And when you're saying things like that it's terrible here, it's the worst here, and all that. That's not gonna go well. That's not gonna go well. More likely you're not gonna be welcome here if you do that. Maybe, like I said, maybe in your culture, maybe in your government where you live, that's freedom of speech. You're allowed to do that. But when you're a visitor to the Philippines, you got to be careful on what you say. You have to respect the people here. Uh, Skating geezer, Ormoc, Ormoc. All right, that was like I know you're from Ormoc. When I say skating geezer, when I say skating geezer. Good morning, Gino. But said she liked the Filipino people for their hospitality, but the Manila politicians pounced on her, grandstanding. She was brutally honest. Yeah, it's like. I can see how she got in trouble with a comment like that. I can see, that she would not be welcome, right? Uh, Good morning. Hey, from San Diego, James, James Cravill. All right, all right. Man, a lot of San Diego. I'm meeting so many, Ruben's in San Diego right now. It's like, I know Pinay Hearts from Oceanside. Emilio's from San Diego. A lot of people in San Diego on the live stream. Thank you so much for joining the live stream. Gino, when moved to the U.S. as a kid, how were you treated in school by the other kids? Oh, see, that's the thing, right, Ted? Like, I had to be, I came from an all boys Catholic school, like in Manila, Letron College. So I always, discipline was important, right? Discipline. We had school uniforms. We prayed every day. We had mass. We had mass every day. I was an altar boy, when I was at Letron College. We did that, for me, when I moved to the United States, going to high school, man, it was an eye opener, because like all of a sudden, it's like in the Philippines when we go to class, we sit in the same class the whole day. If I arrive at school at 7:30 till 4:30, I'm in the same seat in the same classroom. The teachers are the one that rotates in the classroom. Our locker is underneath the blackboard, the teacher's blackboard. So when it's lunchtime, we would take our lunchbox and sit in our chair and eat. And we were just behaved because back then, man, you could get smacked. Our teachers would have like sticks if you weren't behaving. They can smack you in the hand. Very strict. I grew up in a very strict all boys Catholic school. So it was quite a change when I went to Long Beach, Wilson. Chaos, right? Chaos. First thing I had to learn was like my schedule. You go from one classroom, it could be in the other side of the school for the next class, and then your locker. Your combination in your locker. It was just like it was confusing. I got it. After a while, but it was definitely a challenge. Definitely a challenge. And for me, I kind of like when I attended Long Beach Wilson High. At the time, this was I graduated 1983. During that period, there wasn't many Filipinos at Long Beach. It was white kids, black kids, and Mexican kids. Asians were kind of looped in one. I became friends with a lot of Cambodians and Vietnamese. Because they seem to be nicer. Because I had a hard time with English anyway. My English was well, but it's a different English in the U.S. The slang. Like, and then just the overall. Like even when you're in your locker. So I just remain quiet. I was never bullied because I just kept to myself. It's like I didn't really talk a lot. I didn't talk a lot. I just listened more. I observed more. Like during gym class, and all that, I hanged out with like a lot of the other Asian kids because that's how it just played out. That's just how it played out. That I just felt safer hanging out with the Asian kids. Joe, must have been an election year. Must have been an election year. Yes, he meant like grandstanding by the politicians, I'm sure. Yes, you are right, Joe. 1998 was election year. Yeah, so they may have to make a statement. Made a statement. John Vasquez. Good morning, Ginno. Good morning. Good morning. Good AM, John V. These politicians, they don't like it if some high profile person like Claire de, yeah, exactly, because it looks bad, right? It looks bad because if a hot celebrity, a high profile person says it, it's gonna make the news. It's gonna be in paper. It's gonna be on the internet. It's gonna be on Facebook. So it would make the politician would look bad that they're not taking care of the area. Sir, Ted Ball, yeah, big change. 6 periods and a whole different world. I know, man. To me, that I remember Ted. It's like just getting your books out of your locker. Because like you didn't have much time. When the between classes, so I had to rush to my right and some I had my backpack. So I would end up sometimes carrying a lot of my books in my backpack because I didn't have time to run to my locker and then go to my next class. And then just the chaos, the noise. I came from a school where, man, we couldn't talk in the hallway. We could, in Letran, everything was like, if we had recess, we walk in one line going down the stairs. Our rooms, there were 3 floors in Letran. So sometimes you're on the 3rd floor. I think my 5th grade and 6th grade, I was on the 3rd floor. We would walk like even during recess to play in the playground. We were lined up like one line. I guess that's why I ended up in the military because of that. Because of that regimen. It's like the minute the bell rang, we would leave our classroom in one line. We ain't rushing out. In the U.S., man, it was like everybody rushes out, and even in the hallways, people are bumping you in the hallway. You're trying to get to your locker. It was just like, man, it was like definitely an experience that I won't remember. But I made it through it. I graduated with honors. I graduated with honors at Long Beach Wilson. So I joined the military right after graduation. When a celebrity says something, there's a larger audience. Yes, definitely, Joe. That hears what they say. Yeah, it was, Claire Danes is a big celebrity. You can go worldwide, right? It could be in a magazine, news worldwide, repeated by several media outlets, definitely. So lots more damaging. Yeah, so she did. I'm sure if she said that statement, it would have caused damage to the reputation of the Philippines. Your class in high room 222 in the class 222. Fortune, right, Joe Belus. Good morning. Hey, good morning, brother. Good morning. Hope all is well. No worries, man. You're not late, man. You're on time. You're on time, Belus. There's no schedule, man. I didn't even schedule this live stream. I just like went live. Got my naturalized U.S. citizen in Guam. All right, Guam. Cool, Derek. Me, my ceremony was kind of special because it was all military. We were all We were all in the military at the LA Superior Court. The judge was a veteran. So the ceremony, there was about 50 of us, and we were all like me. I was wearing my service dress uniform. There was Marines, there was Army. We were all like in our like our suit, and it was a ceremony especially for people that had joined the military. We were from all over the world, so it was special. Even the judge, I remember, he was talking it to us, and he was like really proud that he loved that we were all serving in the military, and he was really proud that we were becoming a United States citizen at that time. Beluz, smash the like, salute. Thank you, Beluz. Thank you. How are you, please? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. What's that? Jed Khan. Welcome, Beluz. Welcome, Beluz. Ray King. Glad you can join the live stream, my friend. Good morning to you, my brother, Ginno, Dazzle, Liana, and Mom, and your family. May God bless. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. All keep you safe and healthy. Thank you so much, Ray. Appreciate that, my brother. MMA. I remember many gangs in Northern California. Yeah, back in the 80s. Oh yeah, even in our school, we were always warned of the gangs in our school, even in Long Beach. Was listening in the shower. Good morning. All right. Mike and Venus. Good morning. Beluz. Good morning, Ginno Hey, James. I saw James and Karen are back. I watched a little bit of their live stream last night. They're back home. Safely home in Balete, Aklan. Joe. Hi, James. All right. Let me see here. My friend, Yo Tim. He's usually here. Yo Tim in Vegas. He sent me the peso exchange rate this morning. Yesterday it closed at an all-time high, 59.40, and then this morning it actually reached a 59.50. There's usually a guy that asks me to on the channel here. That's why I just mentioned it. But right now, I just did a check. It's like 59.40. That is high. That's a high exchange rate here for the dollar. And all right. So I hit that. I think I covered all the topics. I'm doing pretty good today. I'm not behind in the comments. We talked a little bit about the person that got arrested. He gotten arrested now. Before it was just investigation, but now he's in custody now. I did see they took him to custody. So I'm sure more information is gonna come out after here. The investigation and all that. I mean, he's definitely making the news here in the Philippines, and not in a good way, right? If you're a foreigner in a foreign land, that's not the kind of news you want to be happening. Balut is, but you're not lying. I'm not a balut fan. I've tried it a long time ago when I was a kid. I had it, but since I've been back to the Philippines, I'm not touching balut. My wife, Liana, my mom here, they all love balut, but I'm not eating it. Good morning, Joe Cano and everyone from James and Karen's Adventures. Did you have a Oh yeah, man! I had a Sony Walkman, man. I remember that. The Sony Walkman that had the cassette. Even I remember. I even had that, man. It had the orange. The headphones were kind of like soft and orange, and it had that metal thing and cassette tapes. It had cassette tapes for the Walkman, and that was the thing back in the day, man. The Walkman. I mean, you were cool. That was a big deal when you had the Walkman back in the day, man. When I was in Long Beach, I always especially my junior and senior year, I always had a skateboard with me. That was kind of my transportation. to get around Long Beach at the time. There was like many of us that rode our skateboards. Belize, I remember well, the real smart students went to the Air Force that days. Something you don't. Oh no 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 no. I wasn't bragging. I wasn't bragging, Belize. When I just remembered. I was on my junior year of high school is when the idea of the military came to mind because that's when they started talking to us about going to college. And then at the time I knew, my mom, my stepdad, they didn't have the means to like us. I would have just, not just, but I would have had to attend maybe like a community college in Long Beach, and it did have that Long Beach Community College. But and then I was thinking, I was 17 years old, and I was thinking, man, it's like when I heard the pitch from the recruiters, they were saying, we'll provide the dormitory, housing, food, allowance, all that. You'll travel. And I was like, hey, man, it's like, why not? I figure try the military. Try the, when I first joined the military, I was only thinking I'll do 4 years in the military in the Air Force, get my GI Bill. That way, after 4 years, I can leave the military. I'll still be 21 and then go to college since they were going to pay for college afterwards. I just didn't realize I was going to enjoy the Air Force. I didn't realize that even to this day, my lifelong brothers and sisters are from the military. It's like we keep in touch. We're like connected because of our time in the military. Hit the like. Thank you, Ray. Thank you, Ray. All right, hey man, I don't have many comments today, so let me see if I can find a topic for us to discuss, because I did discuss a little bit of the what the pro-life, what happened with him being arrested. Let me see here if I can find. Usually I go to like the expats Philippines is a page that I follow because there's some good topics. People discuss like different topics in here, talking about the Philippines, and I try to just like my point of view about it. My point of view. No, bro, I know it's a compliment. I know it's a compliment. My self army. I know it's a compliment. Thank you, though. Thank you, Bilus. I understand what you meant. That's understand. Then my eye was blinded. Anyway, I pushed Air Force and engineering. Yeah. For me, I think I took the ASVAB. What happened is the ASVAB is like you take the ASVAB test. It depending on your score. After, I don't really know I was going to join the Air Force. I didn't know Air Force. To tell you the truth, during that time, I didn't know the difference. It's like I thought military was military in the U.S. So what happened, my senior year, I took the ASVAB, and I scored high enough to the ASVAB to where the Air Force recruiter approached me and told me, you had high scores, so we want you. So I said, hey, man, if you want me, I'll sign up. I'll sign up. Ginno was definitely smarter than me. I am 2 years older than him, and we graduated high school at the same time. What helped me, Joe, was like here in the Philippines when I attended Letron College here in Manila, and Fortune, he can back me up here. Even in the 70s, Letron is one of the private schools in Manila. We had Letron, Sambeda, De La Salle, Ateneo. Those were the private schools in Manila, where if you went to those private schools, you were getting top-notch education. And even today, those are the colleges or schools, elementary school, high school. So I did not attend public school, when I was in Manila. I was in the private. My mom made sure I was in a good school. I mean, it wasn't cheap even back then. And even now, to attend private school in Manila, not cheap. I know my mom really, thanks to her, that I got good education. My elementary years. So it wasn't a struggle for me. When I moved to the United States, when I attended Long Beach Wilson high school, it was easy. Everything was easy for me, like science, math, those were easy. English, I didn't struggle because we had English. Actually, when I attended Letron College, even back in the 70s, from kindergarten, from preparatory, first grade to sixth grade, when we were in school back in the 70s, we weren't allowed to speak in Filipino. I know that's kind of weird, but our school, we were in class, we talk in English. Recess, we had to talk in English. There was a penalty for if you got caught like in the playground speaking to other kids in Tagalog. Everybody spoke English. That's why the language wasn't a problem with me when I attended in Long Beach, when I attended high school. We had English classes, grammar, spelling, vocabulary. We had all that. The slang is what I struggled with because, like when you attend high school, it's like I'm hearing words that I'd never heard, and they talk fast, like the students, they talk fast. Yo, what's up? Hey, man, you're going like, okay, what's going on? What did they just say? So, all I did was I just paid attention. I always just like listened. I listened more. I wasn't very talkative during. I guess I made up for it because I'm talkative now. I'm talkative now. I wasn't very talkative during my high school years in the United States. Derek, I wanted to join the Air Force too, but the Air Force recruiter was never in the office. Only Navy recruiter was, so I joined the Navy. Yeah. That's funny. That's funny. He's always out of the office. It's always out of the office. Lowell, I did college with scholarships, work in student loans to get my bachelor of science. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. For me, we just didn't have the money, and then at the time I was not a citizen, so I don't know how that would have played out. I only had a green card. I don't know how the scholarships back then. I just knew, my mom and my stepdad at the time. I knew we were just living in an apartment, 2-bedroom apartment. I didn't want to like really burden them, because my stepdad worked. He worked for the city of Long Beach, and my mom was a social worker in Long Beach. So I didn't want to burden them anymore. Like cost of college, college is not cheap in California even back then. So the military seemed to be a good way for me to like get a chance to go to college in my thinking when I first joined. But after I joined the military, man, it felt like home for me. I met like I said, my brothers and sisters for life in the military. Fortune, good AM, Baloo, Stone, James and Karen. Lowell, I could never join the military with my lifelong love. Oh, sorry to hear that, Lowell. I know. I ended up doing my externship with Tripler. Oh wow, that's cool. My best friend, that's where he gets checked. He gets checked at Tripler. He lives in Hawaii in Mililani, so he's told me a lot about Tripler. He retired in the Air Force also, worked for the federal government, and then finally, he decided last year he took that early retirement from federal government. So now he's fully retired. I can see the change in him too, because before when me and my best friend would chat, it was always like, man, I can't handle, he's always like, you can tell the stress in him when we would talk. But now he's like, he's enjoying his kid. He's still got a kid in high school, so he's like enjoying watching his kid play basketball, doing like retirement things now. He's like a totally changed person. And I told him, man, I told you needed to retire. It's not because he needed the money, because he's a retired officer. He's a retired lieutenant colonel, so it's not like he needed the money. It's just that we've been this thinking that we got to keep going, right? That we have to keep working and working. but now he's just enjoying life now. Fortune Letran, one of the prime private old boys schools then. Yes, right, right. I think our school Letran Fortune is like one of the oldest schools in the Philippines, not just Manila. Catholic, yes, very, very, very strict, very strict. That's why I think I ended up in the military, man, because like I like that regimented, I like that order. That's why the military was easy for me, man. When I joined the military, I was like, oh, I grew up like this. This is nothing. Joe, my youngest graduated high school with an associate degree last year. Oh, great. That's awesome, man. That's awesome to hear that. He went into the Army National Guard, planning to do ROTC when he finished his training. Oh, that's awesome, Joe. That's awesome. My best friend in Hawaii, he was ROTC at Ohio State University. That's how he became an officer. He did 4 years ROTC, and actually he joined the Army when he got out of ROTC at Ohio State. Then he switched over to the Air Force after being in the Army. He said he got tired of carrying the rucksack. He said, "Man, my best friend, he's like smaller than me, smaller built than me." And he said, "Man, the Army rucksack and all that was just brutal." He said, "Man, I had to get out of the Army," so he switched over to the Air Force. Ted, Coast Guard is hard to get in too. Have to have a high score, but great military service to get in. Yes, my friend, her name's Lorena. She's retired too. She teaches. She's a professor now in Baylor. We were enlisted in the Air Force. Her son joined the Coast Guard, and we always communicate about that. That man, it's like a good career. His son's having a good career in the Coast Guard, but hard to get in. I guess not many of them, right? Not many Coast Guard, not many joined that military service. Belus, yes, did very high on tests, enough to fly, but right eye no good. I get, yeah, God's will. Yeah. It's like we really owe our parents for good habits of study. Yeah, looking back at my life, that was one of the most important thing for me growing up here in the Philippines. Now, especially now that I see the poverty in the Philippines, and I'm sure the poverty in the Philippines was the same in the 70s when I was growing up. So for my mom to really like have the means, I mean, she was a very hard worker, businesswoman. In order for her to like put me, my brother, and my sister all in private schools, man, that's a lot of money here in the Philippines, even back then, even now, that's a lot of money. So, we owe a lot to my mom that she was able to do that for us, gave us the foundation, because that's why I'm trying to do the same with Leanna. I'm trying to give her the foundation to have a good future, because it would have been hard. Like now that I understand more about the Philippines, the difference here between public school and private school, the difference between public school here in the province, the private school in the province and the private school in Manila or Cebu City or Iloilo City, big gap. There's a big gap. It's like the ones if you really want your kid to be educated well here in the Philippines, it's got to be like the private schools in Manila, Cebu City, or Iloilo City. Those would get them the best education here. Unfortunately, like even here in Aklan province, like even the private schools here in Calibo, they won't compare to like the private schools in Manila. A lot of times you can base it on the tuition, because it's a lot more expensive to go to like the private schools in Manila. I mean, we're talking tuition costs in Manila, even for elementary school or even high school, in the thousands of dollars, 100,000 pesos or over per year to send your school in. And that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money here in the Philippines. But if you want to have a good foundation for your kids, in order for them to succeed here in the Philippines. You almost need that. You almost need that because it's hard to get ahead here if you're just here in the province. Like even for Liana, that's why I'm really pushing her to finish at least nursing school, get her training here, get certified licensed nurse someday, that she can use that to find a good job, overseas. Hopefully she wants to go overseas. Joe, he found out that the ROTC program was canceled at the university. He's going, oh man, he's going to attend. So I wonder if he's going to have to find another ROTC program. Bizwax, hey Bizwax, my good friend in Davao, Davao. Same here. So I ended up joining the army. They ended up joining. Oh yeah, the recruiters weren't there. The recruiters when they're in office. Maybe the recruiters are busy recruiting, recruiting. They're always out of the office, right? Because they always have to do colleges, and then the MEPS. The MEPS is the military processing when our physical, our medical physical paperwork and all that. So recruiter usually goes, and takes us to the MEPS center. So maybe that's why they're always not in their office. Yeah. Skating geezer, you were skateboarding in Cali in the mid 80s. You probably know the California one. Oh yes, I know, man. I know. I know. Skating geezer. It's like that's all we did. And for me, I was skateboarding when I was in the Philippines in elementary school here, but nothing like in California. That's why I fit in. When I got there because I got whoa. There's some serious skateboarders in California, in Southern California during that time. It was the Mecca. It was the Mecca. That's why I walked around all day. I rode my skateboard. That was my transportation during my high school years. Eventually they had to there was a rule and Long Beach Wilson, I remember, you couldn't ride it once you get into school property. You couldn't ride. You can ride it on the sidewalks, on the streets going to school, but the minute it's like school grounds, you had to carry your skateboard, and we would just take it, put it in our locker. My mom was a high school teacher, and new boys did better if they were older. So she started us in kindergarten at age 6 instead. Oh, okay. I was the oldest in my class, and 8. Oh, I guess my mom was opposite. My mom was I was always the youngest. I was always the youngest, even when I was in the Philippines. I was always the youngest in my classroom. And then when I got to the U.S., I was really young. It's like I would attend classes, and the kids were a lot bigger than me. But it was all okay. I made it through. Fine. Tripler Hospital is a maze. You can get lost. I've never been there, but I could imagine because it's a medical center. I remember Clark was a little bit like that. Clark, the 13th Air Force Medical Center when I worked at Clark. It's a big hospital. Without many outliers. Like our mental health unit was like a separate building. Our orderly room, our admin offices were separate building. Big hospital. And then underground too. It's not just like the floor, or when you come into Clark Hospital, the front desk. There was floors downstairs, that were basement. I think our dining hall, our cafeteria was in the basement too. My younger bro joined the U.S. Navy, Edsel, as a Mustang and retired captain after 8 years of service. Man, that is amazing. That's amazing. Eldest daughter is lieutenant colonel in the Air Force, and is that usually that's what happens, right? It's like a military, you end up becoming military family. Hey, Michael S, my good friend in Dumaguete City. the land of gentle people, man. You know, it's like I was just mentioning that, like Dumaguete City, man. That's the land of so many kind people there, good people there. Because they've been in the news, unfortunately, right, with that other vlogger there, Michael. But hopefully, all that's gonna die down. All that is like news right now. But next week, you know, it'll be hopefully all that you know it's bringing in negativity and all that. But hopefully, all that will be over. My first morning wake up in the Navy boot camp alarm clock was. Oh yeah, there. You know what? I don't remember that in the Air Force. I don't think we had that metal thing. You know, I see it on movies, but I don't think we had that in when I was in basic training. I attended basic training February of 1984, and I didn't have that. I didn't have the banging. They would just like all of a sudden turn on the lights, all the lights in our bay. In basic training in the Air Force, there was two bays. There was 40 of us, so 20 in each bay, and they would just turn on the lights, and the drill sergeants will like walk and yell, and you were so tired anyway that you know it's like you're just trying to, you know, because you didn't get much sleep in basic training. When I went to basic training, we didn't get much sleep. You're always so tired. But Bikram, hello sir. I am India. All right, namaste from India. All right, Ted Ball. I did tech school last 2 years of high school. Oh, all right, that's cool. SC Rock, Southern California Regional Occupation Center, machine tool operation. Then started my career. Wow, that is cool, man. That is cool. Yeah, I remember in high school that, you know, in California they had like you know like mechanic. They had like wood shop. I can't even remember what I took. I know I had a gym class. I knew I had like I took Spanish. I know remember that. It's been so long. I'm trying to remember what I did, what classes I took. I'm mostly concentrated because I was still thinking, you know, maybe there's a chance for going to college. So I was thinking a lot of advanced classes in math and science at the time. OB. All right. My good friend Olson and Aliyah and my buddy Isaiah. All right. Hello, folks. And good morning, Kuya. Good morning from Columbia, South Carolina. Fortune, our new bank president finished chemistry and ROTC at the University of Pennsylvania. Wow, after graduation, he got into the U.S. Navy as a lieutenant in the submarine force. Oh, wow, that is cool, man. I have a really good friend. He's a retired submariner, man. Those guys are awesome. Man, they're like, that's an interesting career. You know, Chris was like telling me about his career in the submarine. After 6 years in the Navy, he changed career to bank. Oh, wow. Great story there, Fortune. Wow, what a career there. First at JP Morgan in Hong Kong, then Nomura International, then went home here with BPI and now RCBC. Man, you meet some cool people with amazing stories, right? You meet some great people, man. Good AM OB from Fortune there. Oh, Santa Monica Pier, man. I've seen Santa Monica Pier. Venice Beach. I've been there. I did get the skateboard. I remember doing skateboard in Venice. Muscle Beach. That's what I remember. That's what I remember at Venice. Yeah, they have guys like, you know, that was like the first time I saw that. You know, I was still in high school. We took a trip. My friends of ours. I think my older cousin, took me to Venice, and that was an experience in itself. Venice Beach, you know, because in Long Beach at the time we were like I would say a mild beach, you know, nothing that you should see. Man, the things I saw at Venice Beach, for a teenager at the time, I was like in shock, it's like, of course, the girls in bikinis, roller skating, and then the Muscle Beach, I mean, those guys were like built like Arnold Schwarzenegger, man, like big, it's like, and they're doing all the lifting on Venice Beach at the time. That I could still envision that to this day. That was like, wow. I was like, I've never seen anything like it. The first time I saw it, it was like, good morning, Michael. Ray, good morning, OB. Good AM, Michael S. What up, Ray? What up, Ray from OB? Hey, morning, Ray. Ted, I used to skate a place called Channel in Palos Verdes, California. All right, cool, man. Man, Ted, we had the same stuff. I never got to go to Palos Verdes, but we were always on the go to like go skate somewhere. There's always like finding places where hangout, like local hangouts that you would skate. Good morning, Master Fortune from Castaway Drip. Michael S. Fortune, like and subscribe. Thank you, Fortune. Thank you, Fortune. Happy birthday to Inday. Oh, that's right. I almost forgot. Inday Chase's birthday is Friday, right? Friday. I remember watching that on one of the live stream. Michael S. says Inday Chase birthday is Friday. Derek, when I was stationed at Subic, I would see the new Philippine recruits eating. Oh, nice. I didn't know. I didn't know they had the recruits eating at the chow hall. When I was stationed at Clark, I'm trying to remember. We did have some Philippine Air Force people in the hospital. They would come into the hospital. They would do like training. Different areas of the hospital. You would see them in their uniform. I remember. They would always like, when you talk to them, they're always like, how'd you get in? They're always asking me, how'd you get into the U.S. Air Force? And then they're like, that was always like a conversation with the Philippine Air Force people at Clark. I walked too much yesterday. Legs were sore and I needed more rest. Eventually, I'll get my veins looked at and try to get them sorted. Waiting until I quit smoking. Oh, all right. Hope you feel better, man. You gotta take care of our health. Ray. It's like very important here, man. That way we can keep enjoying our. I'll go walk more in about. All right. Have a good walk. Ray. Derek, shop. Let me see. Derek puts his shop. Ginno, since you had a skateboard and a Walkman, you must have had. I had a hacky sack, man. Here in the Philippines, Joe, we had sipa here. Sipa is what we called it. It was like a metal, and you put like a plastic, whatever different material, similar to a hacky sack, but longer, and it's got that metal on the bottom. And we used to play it, right? But so when I got to the States, I saw them playing hacky sack. I was like, oh man, I know how to do that. So I did. I played hacky sack too, man. And back then, I remember that's when the boom of like video games at 7-Eleven. I spent a lot of time at 7-Eleven playing video games with my Slurpee. With like Slurpee. My game was Miss Pac-Man was my game, Centipede, and Galaga. Those were the three games that they had machines with them. That I would play at 7 with 1 quarter, and I'd try to beat the high score. Yeah, it's just a different time, right? Different generation. Long Beach was like fun. It was a fun place to go to high school. There's always stuff to do. You can always skateboard. You got video games. You had kids that you can hang around. You were always out. You were always out. Even as a teenager. Just bought our ticket. All right, congratulations, Olsen, Aliyah, and Isaiah. Bought the tickets to the Philippines. All right, man. That's major step, man. That's so exciting. Happy for you guys. Awesome, OB. Yes, Fortune, tomorrow is Chase's birthday, and we will celebrate at our favorite restaurant, Numuga. Estoria. All right, all right. Have fun, man. That's gonna be great. Go. So Friday will be a great day. I know, right? That's amazing. Happy for you guys. Happy for you, Michael. Happy for Inday Che for sure. That's also Dazzle's nickname. Inday is Dazzle's nickname. Dai for short. All her relatives call Dazzle Dai. I don't get to call her Inday. She smacks me in the arm. I call her Inday. I said, okay. Babe is what I call Dazzle. OB, hello for going to apply for 138A visa for my wife. It's getting real now. All right, and getting real, man, getting real. That's all right though, OB. And I'm here, brother. If you need a video call, if you need any assistance for me, any questions you have, man, just let me know. Let me know, man. Great for you guys, OB. Yeah, it's gonna. Isaiah just turned 10, so like I was saying, when Isaiah gets here, man, he's gonna be a celebrity in his school, man. He's a good-looking kid, man. All the girls are gonna be like falling in love with Isaiah. Thank you, Joel. Thank you, Joe. Fortune, congrats, OB. Hitting the parade. All right. We just missed each other, brother. That's my good friend Rick from Jacksonville, Florida. I was trying to look for you, man. I was at the side. I actually was at the cathedral side. I was looking. I was like, oh, man, let me find Rick here. Then I went to like the GQ Plaza side, walking around Pastrana Park. But we just couldn't connect. But so are you gonna hit the parade in the afternoon? The Gigante parade. It's gonna be harder to find you there, man, because like the Gigante parade, I think out of all the parades in the festival, it's the most attended. If the traffic was crazy the past few days, this afternoon, today, 1 p.m. is the Gigante parade, the giant parade in Calibo. It's gonna be insane because all the different municipalities of Aklan, all different barangays, they're gonna have floats that they built like giants, like the taller the better. They do have. I think they tried to limit it because they had one year they had a problem with like the power lines. Some people had made their display too tall and it was hitting power lines. So I did think they limit the height now. Because people try to win the prize. The people try to very creative with the displays. Because I think one of the things is you have to use native products. You can't like build something out of it has to be bamboo, nipa hut. So the structure, the giant floats, they have to native, more native, but it's the most watched parade during the festival. It happens this afternoon at 1. Nice, Michael S. Estorias Story. Yeah, Story. The Story restaurant is a tapas bar. Ooh, tapas bar. Nice. Thank you, Fortune. You all have helped me to see the way. All right, Olsen. You're making the right move, brother. You're gonna have a great life here in the Philippines. And your big gulp, yeah, the big gulp, Slurpee, big gulp, man. It was gigantic back in the day, and you used to make suicide drink, right? Put the ice and then hit all the drinks like a mixture of like whatever they had. You mixed it. Maybe we weren't worried about sugar back then. When you're a teenager, you're not worried about sugar. Good luck, and sure you will enjoy. Fortune, by the way, where do you plan to be based, OB? I'll let OB answer that. I know where he's thinking. I know I've talked about this with OB, madam. Bizwax, Ginno, you're bringing up a lot of great 80s memories. Arcade games, hacky sack, 80s music. I know, right? 80s was fun, man. 80s was fun. Yeah. It's a different generation, different time. To me, the 80s in the United States, I was lucky because that was just life was simple back then, right? In the 80s, skateboarding, video games, hanging out on the beach, it was easy. I think it was easier being a kid then, like as a teenager in Los Angeles, Long Beach, easier then than now. If I couldn't imagine being a teenager now in that area. You gotta like, how it's just not. It's not the same. Just not the same. I always tell people the 80s are my best memory years, but I must be honest that my Philippine memories may rival or surpass all moments in my life. Nothing but blessing. Uh, I know, I understand, man. Looking back, like I'm in the same. I think the same. It's like I'm happy. I grew up. My high school years was the '80s in Southern California. That was a good time for me. But this. This is my retirement. This is my retirement time here in the Philippines now. This is my fourth quarter of my life, my golden years. I get to enjoy it here in the Philippines. But for surfing, Long Beach was not good. There was one place called Hot Rocks, but had to be big swell to break. Yes, yes. Usually the best ones, Huntington, Seal Beach was even better than Long Beach. Long Beach was like that's why for us most of the time we would like skateboard in Long Beach, and if we had to go surfing, we would hit like Seal Beach or Huntington Beach. Usually Inday is if youngest girl, but may not be the. Yeah, I don't think. Let me see. Yeah, maybe they called that Dazzle Inday because at the time she was the youngest when she got the nickname. Because Leanna came like 18 years after Dazzle, So there's a big gap between Leanna, and Dazzle. So at the time, yeah, she was the youngest. She was the youngest at the time. So that's why probably. Dazzler got the nickname Inday, or for them here they call her Dai for short. Inday is different in Manila, term for house worker instead of a. Yeah, I remember that too. Like that, they would call house worker as Inday, because many house domestic helpers now. It might change now, but back in the 70s and still now, a lot of domestic workers that are in Manila come from Visayas region. A lot, there's not many jobs in Visayas, unfortunately. So all the jobs are in Manila. It's like Metro Manila is so big. A lot, I even have relatives of mine in Tarlac. They're always like asking me, "Hey, can you find a domestic helper there in the province?" They prefer the domestic helpers that come from the province here because again, the people here they're hard workers, they're humble, they're honest. They got that reputation here in Visayas. Good people, gentle people here in Visayas. Hello, Ginno and everyone from David Boyd. All right, David Boyd. Skating Geezer. I grew up in New Hampshire, nearly the farthest state from Cali. I had a skateboard, but totally flat. No kickball. No hacky sack. I got the skateboarding magazine most months and fantasized about being in California. I can imagine. For me, it was just natural, because I was already riding a skateboard here in the Philippines. But when I got to California, it was just a thing, back in the early 80s. Everybody had skateboards. So it was a good way for me to meet friends, because you had the same interests. And it just gave me something to do, that didn't cost me anything. Once you have your board, it's free. It's free to ride anywhere. That's because they think the house workers are Visayas. Yeah, because that's the kind of stereotype, right? Fortune, that's a stereotype. I still have a skateboard. Let me show you guys my skateboard. I'm still proud of my skateboard. I'm proud that I'm still able to ride. It's a longboard, so it's not like I'm doing tricks or anything. But this is my board. I still have a board, man. This is my long board here. I still ride around. It kind of got beat up. It's old. It's old. I've had this now for at least 10 years. I switched to the long board 10 years ago, so I don't ride the short boards anymore. But I still have fun with it. You know, it's like I don't take down like big hills anymore. Mostly flat. A little bit of incline. I can still ride. I still enjoy it. You know, it's like when I'm riding my skateboard, just flashbacks of good memories. That's why I still ride my skateboard. OB, Bataan. First, because our old house was just rebuilt and no one living there. Okay. Then we will go travel around to find a good spot. Aliyah want to go to Tagaytay. All right, good choice, Aliyah. Good choice. Tagaytay is nice. Tagaytay is nice. Easier adjustment because in Tagaytay you got cooler temperatures, and good scenery. Tagaytay is known for like amazing scenery. So green, a lot of good views. You know, it's like lots of people are retiring in Tagaytay. My cousin Larry, he graduated 1975 Mapua. He was a medical technologist. Ended up working in over 30 years working in Norway. His kids are Norwegian. Now he's retired in Tagaytay. He loves it. He loves Tagaytay. Built a house there. Loves his life in Tagaytay. Retired now. Right fortune. I'll find you. I know, Rick. You know, it's like it's hard, man. It's hard to find. I mean, that's a sea of people, man. You know, it's like it's a sea of people, but it's all good. I know where you live, man. I know where you live, Rick. If anything, for sure, I'll stop by your place by Dazzle's Ukay Ukay over where you're at. I'll make my way there on Sunday. We'll make our way. If we haven't caught up with each other by Sunday, I'll make sure I'll stop by the house where you're staying. I know where you live, man. I know where you live, Rick. Right. Just let me know, OB. We will meet up if you make it to Tagaytay. All right, Ray. DH. What's up, dude? What's up? Fortune. Oh yeah, I recall you have a house there in Bataan. Many resorts there. Most famous is Las Casas de Azucar. There's Anbaya and Kamaya Coast. Hey, Daniel, all right. Oh, my Panay Posse Brews. Weren't you worried about sugar and less? People had that pretty crazy. Yeah, well, I was young, back then, you burn so many calories back then, right? You know, it's like, I was skinny, man. But, in high school, man, when I joined the military, I was like 140 pounds. That was senior year. I was 140 pounds. So during my high school years, I weighed like maybe $130, $132. I was always like small, tall, skinny. Tall, skinny was me. Joe. Hi, Daniel. Ray. Good morning, Daniel. Fortune. There are also good schools in Balanga. They have a science high school there. I just spoke to a mother whose daughter I helped advise to go for UP. Daughter now in Diliman, taking bachelor's of our psychology. Oh, and mom. You know it, Ray. You know it. We need to meet up and show us around. What's up, Daniel? All right, great. That's awesome that people are connecting. That's awesome, man. The best music during that era. Yeah, I mean, I still listen to 80s music. I still listen to all the, the MTV generation, right? We're like the MTV, the start of MTV was our generation in the 80s. Was that Karate Kid? Karate Kid, that music from Karate Kid, Bananarama, was happy to tell me that she got 1.375 GWA. Here is the highest. That's magna cum laude. Wow, wow, that's a smart person, man. That's a smart person to be magna cum laude. I'll check my schedule. You're completely open. You're completely open, Ray. I'll check your schedule. Yeps. Daniel, too funny, cause I have my big gulp next to me with Coke Zero mixed with 4-5. Yeah. We called it suicide, man. Suicide was like the thing back then. I remember. You had your big cup. You put some ice, and then you just hit all the, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of that, D-Max, skateboard friends in public, face to face, no distractions, skate all night, then spend all day at the rec center. Yeah, for me, skateboarding was like my outlet, I remember, because, that was a way for me to have friends, and we had the same interests. And we were always showing new tricks, right? Learning new tricks. So you're practicing the tricks until you get it. And it was such a big accomplishment when you can do the trick. I'm like, oh, wow, I can do it, And then you show others how to do it. Edgar, hello, Ginno, Fortune, OB. Hey, good morning, Edgar. Joe. Edgar's hitting almost 4 months now. I haven't made a comment on your post. Edgar had made a recent post on Facebook. We're friends on Facebook, and I'm just so happy for Edgar because his life has really changed. From the time I picked up Edgar at the airport in Katiklan to how he is now. It's like I've seen the transformation in Edgar, and I'm so happy for you, Edgar. You're finding still finding but you got a good life, man. You got a good life here. You got friends. Edgar's going to the beach. He's driving. He's at the swimming pool. He's out in the in the sun. It's like that wasn't the dynamic for Edgar when he mentioned to me when he was in the U.S. because living in Ohio, it's kind of cold in Ohio. Cold in Ohio. You don't get to do swimming pool a lot in Ohio, but here, I went to like the resort with Edgar at MM Resort with Edgar. With friends, so I'm glad you're finding your life here, Edgar. Obi, hello, Edgar. How goes it, my friend? Oh, Edgar's doing great. I don't worry about Edgar. Edgar's like he's outgoing here. He's meeting people here. He's got friends here. I'm sure I'll run into Edgar. If I'm at La Casa Española, when I visit La Casa, I always make sure I stop by to say hi to Edgar. Not during the festival. I'm not driving during I have not driven to Calibo with my car during the festival. Impossible traffic, impossible to find parking. Dazzle and I, every time we go to Calibo, we ride the public tricycle. From our house, we just walk to the gate, ride a public tricycle, 30 pesos each. So $1 for Dazzle and I, and they drop us off like after the Numancia Calibo Bridge. It makes a right there by La Serna is the area. So from La Serna is maybe half a kilometer walk to Pastrana Park. So easy, right? So I don't have to worry about parking. I don't have to worry about the traffic. And then coming home is even easier because we just walk towards the bridge and then grab a tricycle. And again, 30 pesos each, $1 for Dazzle Night to take us all the way here to Numancia, to Camellia Aklan. So easy for us to go to the festival. It's not hard. That's the best way. In the past, I've tried to ride Bumblebee or tricycle to Calibo. It's still hard to find parking because especially now, a lot of the areas, they put no parking signs, and during the festival, if they say no parking, you don't want to park there because right now there's close to 3,000 police in Calibo, man. Yesterday, Dazzle and I were eating we tried a new Japanese place. Awesome place. I filmed it. I'll have to, A-M-A Ramen. Ama Ramen is the place. Good Japanese food. I had a gyudon. Dazzle had a gyoza. Very good. Highly recommend. It's on Rojas Avenue. Newly opened Japanese place. Ama Ramen is the name of the place. And while we were eating there, I was watching the police like kept walking by. They had police, Iloilo City Police, Capiz Police. I mean, there's police from everywhere here in Calibo right now. So you do not want to park wrong, or you want to follow instructions. You don't want to like mess up during Ati-Atian right now. They have enough police here. Castaway, hey, D-Mac, all right. Edgar, hello, Joe. Daniel, Ginno, did you have any of the 80s big hairstyles? I didn't, because, I joined the military. As soon as I joined the military, this is my cut. I just got a haircut too. I didn't go to Calibo for my haircut, so I had to try the barber here in Numancia because, it's just a hassle right now to do anything in Calibo. But he did a decent job, I'll go back to my barber, Jason, after my next haircut. But no, I did have longer hair. I remember I had longer hair. I never really had long hair. But, it was like, my ears, I think at one time were covered by hair. Can you believe that? And I had hair when I was skateboarding. But, I joined the military, and the rest is history. Right? I went to basic training February of 1984, and my hair has been like this ever since, like high and tight. I've had the high and tight ever since. Tagaytay is also great. Feels like you are in America. Many good schools, nice weather, plenty of restaurants, resorts, maybe Batangas Beach. Oh yeah, Tagaytay, nothing but good things in Tagaytay. If you're retired, Tagaytay, that was like on my list, my top 3 list when I was, I was looking at Boracay, Baguio, and then Tagaytay. Those were, when I did my recon in 2010, those were the 3 places that I checked out and were top 3 on my places to retire. Boracay just won out because of the beach, Tagaytay, you're close enough to the beach. Your Batangas is not that far, maybe an hour away, but, I wanted to be right on the beach, so I ended up in Boracay. But yeah, even for Filipinos, Tagaytay is a vacation place. People in Manila spend the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, staycation, a very popular thing here in the Philippines. Tagaytay is like a touristy, vacation, retirement. You can't find many places in the Philippines like Tagaytay. Man. It's a beautiful area there. Lot of greenery, good food, man. Their bulalo, man, bulalo is amazing. Beef soup, stock, the beef stock and the bulalo. Buko pie in Laguna, the area, Tagaytay, you got buko pie. Good food in that area. My Fortune, good AM, Edgar from Fortune. My mother, youngest sis, is Inday. My father, youngest sis, is Inday. Yeah, here in the province, Fortune, here in Aklan, the youngest is always Inday, and the youngest boy is Toto. Toto, it's like our previous mayor, right? This guy is like in his 60s, but he goes by Toto Fernandez. But he's not the mayor anymore, retired now. But, many kids here end up, they're either Inday or Toto. Toto is their, because I guess Toto means youngest boy. Youngest boy is Toto. And then Nene. Nene is another thing. Do you hear that name? Toto, Nene, and Inday. Nene, again, a younger Filipina, they call here Nene. So that becomes a nickname for many Filipinas here. Been watching since the start of this vlog, but was doing my monthly shower. All right, haircut, your monthly shower. All right, Daniel. That's all good. It's all good, man. Yesterday, I took a break from the live stream overload, but obviously still did my daily walking everywhere. I took time to stop and talk with locals that recognize me when I live stream. So humbling. Yeah, right? Because I can imagine now for you, Michael, when you're walking and you're not vlogging, people know you now. You know, he's that vlogger, he's that vlogger, he's a nice guy. You know, it's like very humbling experience, right? When people like, you can just talk to people and they say, oh, we like your channel, thank you for promoting Dumaguete City, thank you for being a good person. I mean, I get that. Even yesterday, man, it humbled me, man. Like, even to this day, I don't get many, but people will like that, you know, tap me on the shoulder while I'm filming. Hey, can I get a picture with you, kuya? And I stand, I smile, and I post. And even today, you know, that you know, it's important to me. You know, it's like when that happens, you know, it puts a smile on my face. Very humbling, right? Very humbling. Who am I? I'm just like Ginno, man. I'm nobody. You know, for people to like look up to you in that way, like look at you like as a positive person, like a kind person. To me, makes me happy every time that happens. Nice, Michael. Edgar, Daniel, Sergeant USA, you will change that to 3 showers a day. I know, Edgar. What Edgar means is here. You end up taking me. I've gotten it down to 1 shower. Sometimes I take 2 showers a day, just because it gets hot and humid sometimes that you sweat so much that I look forward to a cold shower. That's why I've never had like one of those machines that have hot shower. I prefer cold showers. I think it goes back to my surfing days in California, because when I surf, you know, you come out, it's cold water, and you rinse off. It's cold water. It's no hot shower on the beach showers. And ever since, I like it. I like that cold hitting me because it wakes me up. You feel alive when you take a cold shower. And the same thing now, you know. That's why it's so easy for me to put a hot shower in our bathroom, but I prefer cold showers here. Good AM, Daniel. Peanut Butter Travels. All right, Peanut Butter Travels. Very cool. Skateboard, Ginno. You and I are very similar. Brother from another era. Hey, man. You know, I still ride it, man. You know, it's like, I'm careful now. I'm careful. Of course, I don't want to break any bones or anything like that, but I still enjoy it. I still enjoy my skateboard. Ginno, that surfboard with wheels. I know, man. It's a long board, man. You know, I can't ride the short. I probably can still ride the short boards, but for safety, you know, it's like I'm older now, man. I'm older now, so I'm riding the old people skateboard. You know, I'm sure that's what the young kids call it. It's the old people skateboard. Good AM, PBT, Peanut Butter Travels. Daniel, hi Edgar, Ford, OB, and Ray. Is JP still? No, JP's good. He's not. He got over the stomach, but yesterday he had like a little back. He had the massage, so he's good. He's good to go. He's good to go, Edgar. He's back out and about again. He's out and about. I'll try to. I might run into him. I might run into him today, hopefully, in Calibo. If not, it's hard to catch with people because there's just so many people. And even if you can imagine this, if you say somebody, hey, let's meet up at Pastrana Park. You go to Pastrana Park right now, it's just a sea of people. And then the loud noise, you know, we got our earplugs and all that, but still, it's hard to like find, it's better if you like designate a time and a place. Like, let's say, yeah, in front of Jollibee at 3, you know, something like that, you know. And then it could be a problem getting there at 3 because of the crowd, you know. You might have to like get stuck in traffic or hard time parking. That's why Dazzle and I, during the festival, we just ride the public transportation. Yes, Fortune is such a blessing and humbling feeling with the beautiful-hearted people here in Dumaguete. Such amazing people that get huge smiles on their faces when I stop. I know, right? You know, it's like Like I said, man, you're in the land of gentle people, man. You know, it's like how cool is that? That you're surrounded by just good people, just humble people, kind people, welcoming you as you know you're a foreigner in their eyes, right? You're from America, but I'm sure they make you feel at home there in Dumaguete. Fortune. Yes, Michael. Engage them. Locals like it. I know you are respectful, so they will like you. Ask them for tips on good spots to go, food to try, fairs when you commute, what festivals are coming. Yeah, just topics of conversation. Filipinos too. One thing you'll notice about Filipinos, if you get a conversation with Filipinos here, even here in Aklan, they're proud when they can talk to a foreigner. But they're proud of their English, man. You know, because most Filipinos here, have English when they were in their studies. But even in the province, even your farmers, even your fishermen, some of them, got into high school, finished high school at least. They had English classes, so they're proud. Then when they can talk to an American or a foreigner in English. They'll even brag it, when they're around their friends and they're talking to you. After they talk to you, they'll be like, "See, I can talk to him. I can, They're proud of that. They're proud of their English here. Joe, one dog gets tired fast and lays down. Another takes off after squirrels and wipes them out in the grass. Lays down and another takes off after wipes them out in the grass. Saw that on Edgar. Congrats, Edgar. I know, right? Fortune. It's like I saw that post, but I saw it briefly. I wasn't able to comment yet, but I'm like, I was so happy. I'm happy. I'm happy for Edgar, and I'm happy for JP. I could see JP. Every time I see JP, he's got a big smile on his face. So I'm happy that I have a small piece in making that happen for JP and for Edgar. Yes, Fortune, the locals are reaching out to me more and more just to talk, and they also give me a pen with notepad to write down my channel for them. I say it over and over. It's all about the people. Yes. I actually had a shirt made. I was wearing a shirt. I washed it, but now it's wet because of the rain. But I had like a Dazzle, it says Dazzle TV, and then on the back it says Dazzle TV because I get asked a lot, Michael, when I'm filming at the Atiatian, what's your channel, Kuya? And I just point while I'm filming, right there. So that's how I do it. Just get a t-shirt. It's a plain black t-shirt. People at the end, everybody wears black, and it's got white lettering, big letterings on the back. Dazzle TV. So I noticed the uptick of subscribers just during at the end. There's always people join the channel because they see my shirt. They see me filming, in Calibos. We talk about everything, but it's the smiles on their faces that makes me happiest. It's so amazing and powerful. Thankful and blessed. I know, right? Thankful and blessed. So happy for you, my friend. My brother from another. So happy for you. I'm glad you're having that experience. I see it with Edgar, the transformation, the time that he's been here. I see it with JP. Just it's good to see people happy, man. It's like there's so many things that goes wrong in the world. So we're bombarded with like negative, right? Even that the issue with the blogger, it's like everything's about negativity, man. Sometimes I know that becomes overwhelming, but me, man, I'm always focused on the positive. Always focused on the positive. Hey, Kim Mandal, hey, good day. Man, you haven't tapped me. I was a pastor on the park the past 2 days, man. Maybe in the sea of the people, you just couldn't find me, man. And everyone, stop by the Canadian Beaver. Oh, yesterday in Rojas. All right. The Vietnamese coffee was very good. All right, I haven't tried their Vietnamese coffee there. Maybe the next time I'll go to the Canadian Beaver. I thought you had mentioned you were going to be in Calibo, and the past 2 days I've been at Pastrana Park most of the afternoon from 1 p.m. till like before sunset both days. Today I might try. I might try again. Maybe find another spot. Maybe not at Pastrana because Pastrana is just getting too crowded. You know that area. Maybe I'll try by Shakey's by that area. The start of the Gigante Parade usually that gets crowded too. But so who knows where I'll end up? You know, I can't just go on a fly. When we land in after the bridge, when the tricycle driver, I'll just start walking, and I have to be careful when Dazzle's with me because I don't want Dazzle to get too tired. She doesn't like big crowds or anything. Like if it was just me, I would just keep walking. I'm like Michael. I'm the same as Michael. I might end up overdoing it because Dazzle's always she's always stopping me. Babe, you gotta rest. You gotta rest. You can't overdo it. But I'm like Michael. Man, I keep walking. I'll just keep walking. Keep filming people. You know. But Dazzle keeps me in line. She keeps me in line. That make sure I don't overdo it. Edgar, I had the fun of driving through downtown. You did? You did, Edgar? Wow! Then stopped at your 7-Eleven and took the bypass and took forever at one red light. Everyone is come. Yes, yes. I know exactly the red light. You probably got stuck by Tigayon, right? That one time Dazzle and I, before the festival even, we got stuck there too. But I could imagine the traffic. Hey, if you're out and about in our area, man, Edgar, fire me a message. Man. I'll meet you at the 7-Eleven. That's when I come out there if you stop at our 7-Eleven. Man. Are you going to live stream from the cafe in Calibo again? Let me see the Cafe Drip. The problem with Cafe Drip, it doesn't have a view of the festival. You know. You won't see the festival from Cafe Drip. You know, I thought about that, but they don't pass it. The festival doesn't pass Cafe Drip. I might do a live stream on Sunday, at Fiesta Day. We're gonna go to the Cipriano building. My friend Joel, he's got Starlink, so I might be able to live stream from his balcony on the 3rd floor because there's people, at least there's bands that pass through there, there's Ati-Atian groups that pass there. I might do it there, but I don't think I will do one at the Cafe Drip anymore, just because I would just be filming the cafe and then there's nothing to see on the street. There's no people passing by, no Ati-Atian groups passing by. Castaway, love my barbershop here in Dumaguete. Speed Barbershop. Such a great time connecting with the local friends in the shop. First and only barbershop I go to. That's my place, talking and getting a fade. I had to get a new barber here just because my barber, Jason, I'm sure he's busy in Calibo and it's harder for me to go, but I'll be back with Jason. But yesterday I took a photo. Of a barber shop. Dazzle and I were walking and I sent it to JP. I sent the picture. The name of the barber shop, Pogi Points. I was like, wow, you know, when I saw that, it says Pogi Points Barbershop. I was like, wow, you know, I took a picture, sent it to JP. JP got a kick of it, you know. We were talking Pogi Points. Dad, Ginno, here youngest boy is Dodong. Oh, Dodong. All right, Dodong. Okay. Cebuano. All right, Dodong. All right. Thank you, Ted. It's funny how people get these nicknames, you know, because different areas, different dialects, they have a different nicknames for people. Here, youngest boy here, they call him Toto. Sorry, thank you, Daniel. Mac, my boys and I planned a trip to Cebu. With Torii Station. Oh, I know Torii Station, Okinawa. I've been to Kadena Air Base in Okinawa. Then it popped off in oh wow. So we got deployed and never got to. Oh, that's unfortunate, man. Cold shower is better for you. Heats your core actually. For me, I've always just taken it. The cold shower wakes me up. A lot of times I'm kind of like low energy or like, but after the cold shower, you just feel alive. You feel, and then you don't feel sweaty. If I take a hot shower in this humidity, when I come out of the shower, like when we're in a hotel or something, you're sweating. You're sweating. You're like wiping down the from taking a shower, but you're like sweating immediately. Got to go. All right, Fortune. Thank you so much, Fortune. I'm gonna end the live stream here. I'm just gonna go through the comments here. Thank you, Fortune. Thank you for sharing your morning on the live stream. Have a great day, Fortune. I grew up 70s skateboarding when still in the development stages. Oh, I bet, man. I bet. Me, when I was here in the Philippines, the boards that we were here is nothing compared to the boards in the US. I remember our boards here in the Philippines. I don't know where they made it, but it was like very basic plastic boards. We were mostly roller skating, right? The four wheels with we even had the roller skates where you can wear your own shoes and you put it on top of the four wheels and then you strap it. Those were the ones I grew up with in the 70s in the Philippines. But I always enjoyed roller skating and skateboarding. So it was just natural for me when I got to California to ride skateboards in California. Yeah, I remember even, there was more, in the 80s, there's more and more like fancier boards that come in. Now, of course, I couldn't afford it at that. I was just happy with the board that I had. It's like, once I had the board, I rode it forever because I couldn't afford the nicer ones. Bye, Fortune from Edgar. The worst beating I ever got was learning to skateboard. Once, I got huge bruise to made me think I got a deadly bar. Oh, sorry to hear that, Daniel. Yeah, for me, I was, I started here in the Philippines, so I was pretty good already before I got to California, but I really got better in Long Beach. Any tips on how I can ship my retirement shadow box from US? Balikbayan boxes are too small. It would be nice to keep that one. Yeah, me, I gave mine away, Obi. I didn't ship anything. So if it can't fit in the balikbayan box, man, that'll be hard. Your shadow box must be really big, man, to not, because I've seen some good sized balikbayan box, right? If it doesn't fit there though, I can't think of how you would ship that. It would be expensive if you had to like custom make something to like ship it. Let me think about it. Oh, I don't have my other, but I'll think about it. I'll see what I can think but if it's too small to fit in balikbayan, usually that's how you would ship things here, would be balikbayan box. That would be the cheapest way. My brother broke his arm skateboarding, compound fracture with bone stick. Ooh, wow! I bet that's gruesome, man. I've seen that though. I've seen that with some kids back in the 80s that tried a trick that they hadn't mastered yet, or tried to do too much on the skateboard. I was always careful. I was, if I was like it was sketchy, if I knew I couldn't do the trick, I didn't do it. I just like took my time learning things. OB4X has 24 by 18 by 20. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Daniel. Just maybe find the biggest balikbayan box and try to fit the shadow box. But if it can't fit there, man, I don't know what other way you would ship it. Thank you, kind sir. Lowell, I cut my own hair. I know Lowell was a barber. That was back in 2007. Shivering is good for your health. Give the box away or sell it or get a new one after the boot. Ted, I made my own box for surfboards and shipped them. Cost me a little over 300. 300. All right, all right. All right, I'm at the bottom. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining the live stream today. I appreciate everyone that joined the live stream. Have a good day, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Take care, everyone, and everyone stay blessed. Stay blessed.